Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today we actually have some TGC Tours news. So I actually stopped playing the tours, I don't know when it was, 3 months ago, 3 months ago. Mainly just because it was just too stressful for me. Honestly, I wasn't putting enough time into the game, and not putting the time in, Master Swing just kind of went to the wayside, as you've seen of all of my other videos that I've done for the past 2 months. So instead of just stressing out and having to log in to do 4 rounds every single week, I decided, nope, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm just gonna play courses that I enjoy and, you know, play the rounds when I feel like playing the rounds, kind of thing. But if you didn't know, Season 7 actually just wrapped up, and going into Season 8, there are actually going to be quite a few changes. The administrator for TGC Tours, Doily, actually posted something over the weekend for the changes that are going to be coming to the TGC Tours. So I just wanted to kind of go over those, especially if, you know, maybe you don't get on the forums or if you're not part of the Discord for the TGC Tours. Just go over them, and I will definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts on what you think about these changes and whether maybe these changes are going to bring you back into the TGC Tours. So make sure you let me know down in the comments below. Let's hop right into all the changes. I'm really just going to read them off of the forums, and then I'll give you my insight or, you know, my thoughts on the changes, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So let's jump over to the forums. So first off, Doily just wanted to say, you know, thanks for another great season. We had a roller coaster of a ride with all the swing changes mid-season, which we absolutely did. Going to get straight to the point, into the details further down below. So this is like the bullet points of all the changes that are coming. So Season 8 start date is TBD. There's some changes that they need to do on the site. So all of those need to be completed before they can tee it back up. Main tours will be moving to Pro Swing. Oh boy. Beer League settings will be made harder. No initial site-wide qualifying event to start Season 8. Pick up where we left off. So if you did Season 7 with the new game, they did a site-wide qualifying event, and that's what dictated all of the tours and the flights. So they're not going to be doing that. Everything is going to just be carrying over. So where you started is going to be carrying over into the new season. Promotion and demotion marks will also carry over. There's going to be a donation drive prior to the start of the season, and the True Sim Tour may be delayed as well. We'll see what kind of changes, if any. So he goes into a little bit more detail, so we'll just read through this real quick. In Season 8, there are a few things we need to have set up before the site can go ready, which he kind of alluded to. We're going to integrate a donation system into the main site to handle all finances moving forward. Right now, it's kind of tucked away a little bit. I think they want to get it integrated, you know, to the main site and maybe in a little bit of a better location, because this is all ran on donations. They put their own time, their own money, and all donations into it as well to run the site completely. So having everything integrated in will definitely be a lot easier for them moving forward. And he goes into this. The main reason for this is to have TGCT's finances in one spot, easy to track and easy to bring forward to the member base to accurately show what our costs are and how much we need to bring it to break even. There are also a few admin features that Doily needs implemented with regards to promotion events and other special events that would allow him to run 100% of a season without requiring Tim's help. Tim does a lot of the back-end programming. Sometimes he's available, sometimes he's not. So being in a situation where, you know, Tim doesn't have to come on to kind of fix fires as much would also be good, especially if he's not available. So once Tim is able to get this implemented, we'll be able to turn around, get the next season started. It's possible we don't start at the same time as the real PGA season. So these are all kind of big. I mean, everything's TBD. It just depends on the availability that Tim has and how quickly that he can get everything implemented that Doily's wanted to do to just make it an easier process for him. So we'll just have to sit back and wait and see, really. I mean, that's all we can do is just wait and see. So the big one that I'm sure everybody is going to be talking about, and there's probably going to be a lot of, you know, back and forth, and that is the Pro Swing. So the main goal of TGC Tours is to provide a cross-platform competitive league, essentially. I don't feel the Master Swing as it sits now after the recent changes is a fair swing across the 3 consoles we support. In the spirit of competition, we're moving our main tours to Pro Swing, which will bring us closer to a competitive balance. I realize the scores will be a bit bonkers, but that is not a major concern. So TGC Tours has always been baked into making everything competitive. So they've never really cared about scores or getting the scores more in line with real life. It's all about just making a clear-cut, competitive online tour for PGA and PGA 2K21. So, with the changes that they made to the swing, I love the changes. I do feel that there has been a big disparity made, though, between Pro and Master. I think there needs to be something in between. That's feedback that we've provided as well. So, moving everything to a Pro swing difficulty will kind of bring Xbox a little bit more in line, because as it sits now, Xbox is just harder for tempo. PlayStation and PC are a little bit more in line with tempo and consistency of tempo. Xbox, though, is just a little bit more difficult. I don't know if it's the tick rates for the controllers or what it is. So what they're doing is, instead of making it extremely one-sided to PlayStation and PC, they're going to move it down to a Pro Swing so that everybody is a little bit more in line for difficulty. I like the change. It could see a lot of just absolutely insane scores on the higher levels, but as long as it is more competitive, I think that is the big draw to this change. Now, he goes in later in the comments because people are like, we'll just make the CC flights Pro and the Pro flights, Kinetic, Elite, Platinum, make those Master. And he said that it's not an option. They're not going to do it. It is very difficult to do that, especially when they are trying to make everything a lot more easier of a process for them to run on the back end. So that's not an option. All of the flights are going to be on the same difficulty. They've chosen Pro. We'll see how it goes. I like it. As long as it makes things more balanced for competition, I'm completely for it. If scores get a little crazy, scores get a little crazy. But as long as it's competitive, I think that's the fun. So that's the big change. Pro Swing difficulty coming. So what do you think? What's your thoughts? Next up, he goes over the Beer League. So initially, the Beer League was like the Pro Swing difficulty. So if people didn't want to play Master, they could play in the Beer League for the Pro difficulty. Now, the Beer League will move to a difficulty swing setting to provide a place for people to play and enjoy Master or harder swing settings. The exact settings are not set in stone. I plan on running a couple exhibition events during the downtime to see what happens. I've whittled it down to 3 options. Master Swing, same settings we're using on the main tours. Legend Swing, or Legend Swing no tempo. Everything else will remain the same. If you opt into the Beer League, you're not on the main tours. Keep an eye on the forums, more discussions on this, and likely a poll. So, if you're not part of the TGC Tour forums, I suggest you go over there and join it if you want to be a part of the poll. More than likely, when it comes out, I'll also probably shoot it onto my Twitter, so be on the lookout for that. So they're going to make this a little bit more difficult. So people who were liking the settings that are in place now will have a place that they are able to play that now that everything is moving to Pro. So it's just pretty much flopping positions. Beer League was the easier league. Now the main tours are going to be the easier league, with Beer League being the harder tour, which means that True Sim's probably, I'm guessing, going to stay the same. It's probably not going to change at all. So if you're enjoying it now, you don't like these changes, you'll have the Beer League to go and play and compete with everybody who's on the Beer League, which I think is the right move. If you kept everything the same, Beer League would be essentially obsolete, and you can't make it easier because Pro Swing's already fairly easy compared to Master and Beginner. So I like this change a lot. Of course, join the Society for Beer League, do the exhibitions, just so they can get all of the data for all of those exhibitions and make the right decision. So be on the lookout for those. Next up, he has the Carryover. We'll not be having an initial site-wide qualifying event, which I went over. We expect all those currently in the Beer League will register for the first qualifying event of the season. We will give it a week or 2 to fill up our numbers, and then we'll have a promotion event scheduled fairly quickly to help balance out all the skill of all the tours. Any promotion or demotion marks you currently have will carry over into the new season. So they're just going to run a couple weeks and then almost immediately have a promotion event, which is good because those promotion events are used to balance all of the tours out. So having that scheduled to be ran fairly quickly will be good to help balance with the new difficulty, balance all the tours out for everybody. So that's all the carryover. So your promotion to motion marks will all carry over. Everything will carry over. Whatever flight you're in now is where you'll be when Season 8 starts. Next up, big thing is the donation drive. We plan to hold a donation drive prior to the start of the season. The longevity of the TGC Tours will be dependent on member donations offsetting the costs to run TGC Tours. This circles back to us providing as much detail as possible with regards to what our costs are and how much we need to break even. So they have always done just out of pocket. The main admins come out of pocket to run the site. They have volunteers to kind of keep the site going with courses, and people need to go on Ranger, people need to schedule. So those are all done by volunteers. And then they rely on donations. So having all of this information a little bit more towards the forefront will definitely help for people to know like what needs to be done in order to keep this site running. Because too many years in the red, and I'm sure this won't be happening anymore. So knowing all that information to the forefront will allow streamers, me, YouTube makers, kind of run little donation events for the TGC Tours. It's a big part of PGA 2K21 and games probably moving forward. So knowing what we need to keep everything running smoothly will be a big help to everybody involved. So when they do this donation drive, expect me to be running a stream for it. I will also probably make a YouTube video for it to try to get some donations running, because this is a main part of what keeps people playing this game, I think, long term throughout the year or 2 years in between games. Big deal. Big deal. So be on the lookout for the donation drive. If you have money to give and you enjoy the TGC Tours, it'll definitely be something that you can, put some to keep the action running. And then finally, he goes over the True Sim Tour. I'll be in touch with the TST admin to make sure they are aware of our timelines. As possible, it's made to be delayed as well, depending on the state of the site. I expect no changes to happen with the True Sim Tour. I think True Sim Tour has a place already carved out with all of the settings that they have. I don't see that changing, but it's up to the TST admin to make that final call. So we just gotta wait and see at this point for that one. And that's it. That's what Dolly said. He said to, discuss below. If you want to head to the forums, I'm sure this is going to be a thread that's going to be popping off, so it'll probably always be towards the top. You can also head to the Discord. I'll put links down below for the Discord if you want to join in there, because I'm sure people are going to be talking about it in there as well. But those are all the changes that Doily put forth. What are your thoughts? I mean, do you think Pro's the right move? If you stopped playing the tours, will that get you to come back to the tours when Season 8 starts? Just let me know down in the comments. I'll be down there discussing it with all of you as well. And if you made it this far, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Leave a like on the video if you haven't. And sub to the channel too if you haven't yet. I don't know. When Season 8 starts, maybe I'll hop back in and give it a go. See what happens on the Elite Tour that I'm at. And just see how the competition flows. But for me, that's all she wrote for today's video. Thanks so much for stopping by, giving me the time. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I will catch you on the next one.